Hello and welcome to Viber Finance. My name is Lindsay. Tonight I am joined by the lovely Serena Alonzi, and we are doing episode number 7 of HEX Updates. Tonight we will be addressing delayed gratification and fear, uncertainty, and doubt surrounding the HEX token. But before we get started, it's important to know that the facts here are shared are facts from the website, which you are able to access at hex.com, and the rest is just our opinion, which makes this just entertainment. So thank you for tuning in this evening. None of this is financial advice. It's just two friends gathering on YouTube to chat about a product that they are interested in. So without further ado, a little intro to Vibra Finance.
At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance. We are the future of crypto.
All right, welcome back. Happy episode number 7. How are we feeling tonight?
Yep, excited.
A little excited. Number 7 is the book. If you missed last week's episode, we went through episodes number 1 through 5 very succinctly with the basics of what is HEX, what is the HEX token, all the way through staking strategies. So if you're new to the Richard Heart ecosystem and you're finding us here on YouTube about what is the HEX token, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. And please feel free to check out at Vibra Finance and at Serena Alonzi on YouTube. Give us a like, subscribe, bell button, hit the bell button for all notifications to keep up to date with what's going on with HEX and the Richard Heart ecosystem. We have a lot of really fun things to be covering. And tonight, our main topic is delaying gratification. So Serena, kick us off here. What is delayed gratification and what the hex does it have to do with HEX?
Yeah, sure. So delayed gratification is doing something now so that, later on you'll benefit from it. So an example would be like going to the gym every day, even if you don't want to do it now. Things might seem hard now and you might not be motivated, but you have to remember like the benefits later because things aren't going to happen overnight, right? So that is an example of it. But what it has to do with HEX, for me personally, I set up my HEX stakes long in the future so that I have that delayed gratification that I know later on there's going to be something to look forward to and I'll have HEX available and I have my future set up. So to me, that's how I practice delayed gratification with HEX.
So it sounds like you like to plan things out and observe the journey that you're on, right? Mm-hmm. Am I on with that one? Okay.
Yeah, it's important to have a plan. You can't plan everything in life, but of course, with things like delayed gratification and something like HEX, it makes sense to have a plan, and I'm happy to be here.
Right. Yeah. So delaying gratification, and we're combining this topic with HEX because when you stake your HEX, you turn it from liquid and you mint it, and it's staked, you turn that into a T share if you're lucky, perhaps a B share if you're also lucky in the future. Then locking those away, your smart contract mints you rewards. So you are rewarded for your time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. You're rewarding yourself. Like you're doing the work now to learn now and investing now and staking now. But it's like, later you're going to have all those benefits. So.
And you're going after your plan. So you have, I'm assuming you have a plan and then you have a major goal for the end of your interest in HEX. So
somewhat. Yeah.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now like going into creating habits to delay that gratification. Give us an idea of like you had said working out and being fit, and then habit breaking. Can you elaborate a little bit more on like breaking a habit to delay that gratification?
Sure. There's another example I thought of, like if you're somebody who smokes cigarettes, for example, and you want to quit. Well, instead of spending money and buying cigarettes, if you just said, you know what, I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to put that into HEX instead, and you're going to wait. So it's like you're also getting healthy, breaking a bad habit, and then knowing that, look at all the rewards later I'm getting from it. And it's something like it's a long-term plan, right? So
Yeah, I got really excited thinking about the benefits of stopping smoking cigarettes, and this is not like an anti-smoking campaign here. We are it's just like our opinions and some like entertainment, but
yeah, that was just an example. So yeah.
just an example. But
Yeah.
no, that's a really great example they have too, because it's not only something that is physical, you're also strapped with a mental passenger on that one, if you will, too, because there's a reason why you're smoking, right?
Yeah.
And when you're having that cigarette, you're delaying that, you're gratifying whatever need is meant to be soothed at that moment. So in order to delay that gratification through not rewarding yourself through a cigarette, perhaps delaying that feeling of being rewarded through holding something through time, instead of the expense that quickly evaporates when you're allotting resources to something expendable. All right. Just wanted to make sure that was kind of clear. And those are all personal choices, right?
Yeah.
But breaking those kind of habits, a dirty habit that I had years ago was when I would take my kids to school, I would stop and get myself a coffee on that one. And I'm like, I don't really need these coffees every day. Like they actually make me pretty jittery and I don't really love them. So I'm going to delay on that one. And then putting that aside, I was able to create something greater with holding those resources back, from delaying the instant gratification of I'm alone in my car, I have silence for 5 seconds, I'm going to enjoy a sip of this and move on with my day. And I know that I know people out there feel me on that one. So there's benefits of delayed gratification. So many, right?
There's so many. Oh yeah. Yeah. I can give you some of my personal benefits of delayed gratification. So for me, like for the fact that I have HEX stakes that are like, 15 years and far out there, to me, that gives me time to plan my future, think about what it is I really want. And it gives me something to look forward to for the next 15 years. So that's pretty exciting. And I'm rewarding myself yearly. And then I can decide every year, like, am I going to restake it? Am I going to, enjoy some rewards? And of course, that depends like on my life at that point and on the price and a lot of different factors into that. And yeah, another benefit is that it's a big relief just to know that my future is set up and I won't have to be waiting until I'm 60 years old to retire. So that's pretty cool. And yeah,
not
because
you're expecting the profit off of HEX, right? Yeah, you're not basing your like expectation to be able to monetarily retire around HEX, right? You are just using it as a tool to get you to your end game.
Yeah. And the only thing we're expecting here is more HEX tokens, not anything monetary, just HEX tokens, because that is what you get when you stake. So yeah. And
okay, sorry about that. I got like off traffic a little bit. Well, let's go back to delaying gratification. Because I mentioned retirement. I just wanted to make that sure that like that is very clear. That's like a personal, that's like your personal.
That's that's my, these are my personal examples. Sorry. Yes. So yeah, because it's nice to know that I won't have to retire when I'm 60, because the retirement age is always, it's been climbing, unfortunately. So yeah.
Yeah.
And and I'm also grateful to know that HEX will allow me to help my family and friends. So that's another point for delayed gratification. Because it's helped a lot of people, and you do earn more HEX tokens with it. So definitely a benefit. And there will also always be something available in case of an emergency. And that is a huge stress relief for Hexicans, knowing that you will always have those HEX tokens, and those tokens you have will be making you more if you're staked. So,
It works
yeah.
for you. What a
Yeah.
novel idea. What a novel idea to have a product that works for you instead of having to work for a product, because I don't work for a
Exactly.
product.
Yeah. And that's like the best way of passive income. I'm sure everyone's heard of the saying, like, you have to find a way to earn while you sleep.
Yes.
So this, like, HEX allows that. And that's very important to me. I love passive income and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I love for being rewarded when I sleep. I love to sleep. So if somebody reward me for that too, I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, another benefit of delayed gratification is greater mental stability. And it's a huge benefit, especially in the crypto market. If we can get people to stake and not get wrecked, based on the price, and people want to sell when things are low and bear markets and all that. So it's a good, definitely a good point, like, for your mental health. And yeah, I guess that's the best way I can put that. And it's, I think that's all I have right now.
Yeah, for your mental health. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
holding into something, and a product is a product at the end of the day. And if you're going to allot your resources to something that you have the opinion, or your belief is that it's a product that has market fit, and that it does solve, there are problems in the market, and that it solves that problem in the market, if you can see those things being built out and take it away from all the complications that seem to surround being new into cryptocurrency and new into investing into digital assets, if you can take away all of that noise and overwhelmingness of the terms and all these things, it's really just, at the end of the day, it's like being involved with your favorite product in a way that's, why wouldn't you share something with a friend? You said sharing it with your friends and family, you're delaying that gratification, and you're also bringing them along a line of benefiting them with the I hate we're using the word security, because that means so many different things to so many different people. Some people truly look at the dollar value and they feel like that's the security, when we know that for like your own mental health, that a dollar is just something that has been given intrinsic value, and that really should not make or break your situation. And that's why you don't over leverage yourself when you're getting into a product. You really have to come in and take a deep dive and look around and see if it's a true fit, not just for the market, and not that you have to make sure it has utility and that things will actually progress forward. So when you're seeing the average stake length being a little over 6 years, you can show that the community also vibes around SciVive. That is a great resource, and you can tell us more about SciVive too. That was a product that was created by Richard Hart, the founder of the HEX token. Can you explain us a little bit more about SciVive?
Sure. Yeah. So it's just a book that Richard Hart wrote. And it has a lot of self-help information in there, ways to improve your life, some business related topics. A bunch of different things in there. And I highly recommend reading it. It is a good book to read. So I've read it about 4 times. Yeah.
So would you
Yeah.
say that it would be something that could supplement your journey into delaying gratification?
Like reading sci-fi
Yeah,
or I guess so.
like an extra tool in your bag, so to speak,
Yeah,
for
I
like
mean, it
that.
definitely helped me. I mean, reading it, there was a part in the book that was saying like, doesn't matter if you feel silly doing something, do it anyway. So like that was a good, like there's different things I take from that book that's like, okay, yeah, I can do that in my life, or similarities of things I already do, that it's like, okay, it's good to know that coming from somebody as smart as Richard, that if I'm doing some of these things already, well then I must be on the right track to, just delaying gratification and things like that. So yeah, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I actually really appreciate, like, for me, in my personal experience with hacks in the community
Mm,
and all the things that surround everything that we're talking about these days, um, really, it's finding that that was his product to start off with, was a book that truly is meant to help people recognize the power that they have within themselves to delay their own gratification and to make changes that will make longevity on this earth, in my personal opinion, quite a bit more enjoyable.
yep,
So,
exactly.
yeah, and with that comes, like, there's ways to improve delaying your gratification, and one of those is to know your worth. And that's not just to know your monetary worth and not overextend that so that you don't find yourself in a situation where you're worrying about emergency end staking or being penalized. Um, Here we are with knowing your worth, as in I have made a goal and I've made a promise to myself, and these are the steps that I'm going to take to execute that promise. So, making promises to yourself first is an excellent place to start, because if you can't trust your own promises that you're making to yourself, it's difficult to make promises to a third party, which would be any product that you're interacting with daily. It's difficult to make promises to yourself when you know that the consequences on the other side could be the thing that you're worried about, losing the most if you find yourself in that situation.
Hmm.
So,
Exactly.
um,
And Hex is a great tool to practice that delayed gratification, because it's only you in the contract. So like you have to
yeah,
do what you say. It forces you to keep that promise to yourself. So
yeah, and there's so many great ways to practice delaying gratification.
mm,
First thing that comes to mind for me is like food. I don't know. Like, I'm a foodie. I love to eat, but I
me
have
too.
to, and like if there is a really nice cheese plate, I will reach for that every day before I'll reach for the veggie tray. It's like
Mm.
something that I just know that, like, I really like cheese. Anyway, so my point is, I know that I have to intake a certain amount of vegetables for my best self health every day, but I want that cheese. My delaying gratification would be to eat my vegetables, my correct portion, and then to enjoy a smaller piece of cheese. So I'm delaying that gratification in a way that is making it sustainable for me.
Hmm.
That is key. If you're going to set yourself up for a situation where you're setting yourself out long term, and if you're truly going to take advantage of the bonuses and benefits that come along with being a hex staker, training yourself to delay that gratification in ways that benefit you here and now, can you imagine where you'll be in 15 years with all these
Mm.
little tiny tricks that you've done along the way? So that'd be
Oh
kind of
yeah.
cool to document yourself too.
Oh yeah. We'll be
Um,
expert at delayed gratification in 15 years from now. So
yeah, and
yeah.
if you find yourself like really looking at the numbers or at the screen, and if that is something where you're really struggling with to find, like, why should I hope, like, why do I even want to make this promise where I'm putting my money or my resources out there for X amount of years, practicing, like I said, practicing those things, making distractions for yourself, one of the things you could do is turn up the music. If you find yourself looking at your portfolio and it's underperforming, turn up the music. Find out why. Tune into your why. Why is it underperforming to you? Where are your assets allotted? And what can you do to make small changes, small little steps every day to get you back on track to your goal? All right. Anyway, we're gonna go sideways on that one on a different episode and like another like more in depth with tools and tricks that you can use. But today, let's go back onto topic here. One of the other things that we wanted to address tonight was FUD. What is FUD?
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah. So FUD is it stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and it's pretty much just like negative things, people saying like, oh no, the price is going down, and just to kind of scare you just so that they can pretty much buy your bags. So it's good to be aware of FUD and not fall for it, and yeah, turn up the music like you said.
Yes, turn down the noise, turn up the music. There's so much FUD that surrounds the HEX token. There's so much FUD that surrounds the creator of this ecosystem. There's so much FUD that surrounds the community. Addressing FUD, this could be an episode all in itself. But basically, where do you even start with that? Where do you even start to address the FUD? It's reminding people that what we're sharing on camera with you is just an opinion. It's just entertainment. And I am not here to tell you that you will never see these prices again. And this APY will never be seen again. I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I did. Yeah. But I don't have a crystal ball. And the fear of that is your entry point and your lack of education on it. That's where fear really comes from. So you have to sit down with that. And what are you really afraid of with this community? You're afraid somebody's going to bite you? Well, they might. Gosh, everybody has a crazy uncle, right?
Yeah. And it's just, when you look at crypto overall, like I've never seen, there's so much FUD and gatekeeping with HEX, but it all comes from people that don't understand, like you said. So if you actually take the time and understand and learn HEX and, read about Richard and, the things that everyone FUDs about is stuff that all of us already know, and it doesn't change our opinion because, yeah, it's just FUD. That's all it is. Like, we're not scared. So,
well, you're digging through the uncertainty in things, and when you can address uncertainty head on, you are going to find clarity on the other end of that. And doubt is very real. What causes doubt?
I guess the stuff you hear, the FUD. I mean, people, when they see the price is down, when they hear, they see different videos of people saying things about, HEX and about Richard, and people will see that and think, oh, it's bad. It's something, but it's like, no, if you actually do your research, you'll see it's not. So I think people just really have to take the time to understand it and learn properly, and not what everyone else who doesn't know about it is saying, because you'll really miss out on an opportunity, from people that will talk about things that actually are scams and actually do harm people. HEX is the opposite of that. So I guess learn is the best thing that the best advice I could give is learn about it. And yeah.
I mean, well, we hear a lot of HEX is a scam because you need more people to keep feeding the ecosystem. And I'm like, oh, there's no other products like that on the market. That doesn't necessarily make it a scam. It makes it a product that will continue to thrive with.
Exactly.
Right. So
yeah. And you can say that about any crypto, like any crypto you hold, people can say, well, you need more people to buy for, price to go up. Like you can say that about anything. So like you could literally say that about McDonald's. Like you need more people to buy hamburgers, or else like you could say it about anything, that it's just like silly. So
when you hear those things, it's important to step back from an emotional reaction. There's so often people get on there with like somebody's got a bone to pick and a pitchfork, and they get really excited, and that energy creates more energy around it. People are like, oh yeah, that sounds really bad, but it's kind of funny when you hear that it's the same points that are pointed at and can be disputed. But like I said, it's opinion, entertainment, and that is all. Okay, so as you had said, like we were talking, and just to real quick go on to this with like fear, uncertainty, doubt, because we're hearing like scams and everything. You wanted to touch base with a BitConnect. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so just to compare it with HEX, I remember when this was like back in 2017, I think, when BitConnect was popular and everybody was promoting that. And I did my own research, and I believe it said 1% per day was what you were supposed to earn. And I was like, okay, that's too good to be true. And it just seemed really sketch and had sketchy vibes and stuff. So I did not get any of that. I didn't invest in it.
You didn't even want to dive in and do more research into it. You just got
like, I didn't want to, like, even though, okay, a part of me was like, oh, cool. Like you could still put money in that just like with any crypto and still make money before the scam goes down, I guess. But it's like, I already knew it was a scam. So why am I going to even get involved with that? Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to promote it. Don't want to talk about it. Like I just, that's not something that, yeah. So when I looked into HEX, it was like, I did not get any of those feelings of BitConnect scam. It was nothing like that, because when you actually understand HEX, it's so different. It's not just like some sketchy scam thing. Like there's so much genius and smart, I guess the way it was just made, like it's like people say HEX is an IQ test, and it literally is an IQ test, because it's not some BitConnect thing, like not at all. So yeah.
So you went with your gut on that one.
I did that. And plus, like, I didn't deep dive into it because I'm like, from what I saw, I was already like, this is sketchy. This is a scam. Like, I'm not going to, I don't want to say that in the way that, people might think, oh, HEX is sketch or scam, and then they don't deep dive and learn into it. Like, I'm not trying to say that. It's more of just,
no, I think that everybody should go in. I believe, I was like, ooh, watch me get preachy. Watch me get preachy here. But I'm telling you right now, if that is your first instinct and you think that HEX is the greatest product on earth, I highly encourage you to try to convince yourself that HEX is an actual scam. Don't just like go, if you hear the word HEX is a scam, oh, this, triggers. What's
Exactly. And with BitConnect, nobody was, even though everyone was promoting it, nobody was saying it was a scam. They were all like, oh yeah, it's great, 1% a day. And I'm like, oh, hold on, let me, look at this and see that it's not. And with HEX, it's like, it's funny because everyone else is saying it's a scam, but those are the same people that promoted BitConnect, and they have no idea because they didn't actually look into it. So
look at what just happened with market changing FTX.
Yeah, crazy. Exactly. How many people promoted that? And
yes,
it's insane.
Well, that's one of the things that we at Viber Finance have included on our qualification checklist, is to see, is this product being promoted by an influencer, and who is this influencer? What is their background, and what do they have to do with the actual product? What do they have to do with the solution that the product is promising to provide to the market? So if you really stopped to look past, and this might be an opinion of, if you really stop to look past like the mad gains, the greed, the after that, and you really sat with FTX in your gut, you looked at where it was going and who was promoting it, might have been a different story for you. Right. So when we hear about scams, and I encourage you to look into every project or product that you are even remotely interested in and try to convince yourself that it's a scam, and look at it with that, what you might be surprised at what you do uncover.
Yeah, you have to do that. Like, that's like when I first looked at HEX, everyone was saying it was a scam, and I was looking into it, and I'm like, nope, can't find anything that resembles that. Even to this day, people just say, reason number one, it's a scam because his real name isn't Richard Hart. It's like, that has like, what? That's such a stupid point from like how many years ago that.
I mean, you're right, because nobody else uses an alias. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
exactly.
Obvious scam marker there. Nobody else uses an alias. Check. Yeah. Oh, wait. I mean, if you go out in your social in areas where you're meeting other people that call themselves influencers or consider themselves to be influencers, I cannot tell you how funny it is to have somebody introduce me to themselves as their at name. Which I understand and I respect anonymity, but at the same time, like, I mean, you're out on a public forum and you can't hide. So anyway, for people to say like, oh, his name is really Richard Chulin, it's not really Richard Hart. Like, okay. And
yeah, exactly. That doesn't change the code. That doesn't change anything to do with the product itself. So it's just like irrelevant points that people make up that, I don't know. They're just so focused on that it's like, well, if you actually did your research, maybe you wouldn't be missing out on a great opportunity in life. I don't know. Yeah. Just saying.
There's definitely other points where people make to with flooding HEX, and that's an episode that we're going to be covering in the future episode, which is the OA wallet, what that means, and all about that. But for those of you that are new here with our back to basics episodes, we'll dive into that in a future episode. But that is something that you should look into too. That is what, like, when you hear do your own research, start with something really small. If you don't know what I mean by an OA address, that's a good place to start. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you that one. We're going to save it for a future episode. So you need to turn in, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell button for all of the notifications so you don't miss out on any of those episodes coming up. So, I think that's all we had to cover today with covering a simple delayed gratification, what that kind of means to us, and then talking about a little bit of FUD in the community. Is there anything else you want to add for tonight?
Just for everyone to remember that this is not financial advice, just our opinions, and do your own research always before you invest in anything.
That's right. Okay, we are on our way to giving away another hat live on stream. So from now until the end of December, we will be choosing from one of our lucky YouTube subscribers so that you can match us in a sweet lid. Thank you to Rochelle Private Equity for the generous donation to share with our subscribers. When we hit 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, I will be giving away a brand new Ledger Nano X and a step-by-step instructional video on how to get you started safely and securely with crypto. Do not leave your money on a public exchange.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know we will be going into getting started safely and security with crypto, and as we go along in our future episodes. We're really excited about that. It's something we're very passionate about. When you hear not your keys, not your crypto, it's real. Don't share those with anyone.
Yeah, it's so important. Like it is literally rule number 1 of crypto. So that's like the first thing you guys have to get. So.
Yes. Rule number 1 of crypto is to keep it safe. Rule number 2 of crypto is to tune in and watch Serena Lanzi and I for episode number 8, where we cover HEX community and what that means to us. So tune in next week for more HEX updates. We will see you soon. Good night, everyone.